Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, December 6th, 2017 at 8:31 p.m., Birmingham. And blog, I want to go back and tell you a couple things. Well, number one, these generations are the generations that won't pass away. I don't know why I kept picking December 17th. I knew that wasn't right. Hanukkah's December 12th to the 20th. And I guess 2017 stuck in my mind. I just kept saying it, and I apologize. Let me say this. Whatever the generation in years are, whether it be 120, 100, 70, 50, all of them conclude in the next 2 weeks. All of them. And let me get a calendar before I tell you a tale there too. But beginning on the 12th, which is next Tuesday, Hanukkah, and it ends on the 20th, on Wednesday. So when I say 2 weeks, today's the 6th, exactly 2 weeks. So I'm right somewhere, at least. Sorry about that. I'm good about giving wrong dates. But guys, does this mean the rapture of the church will happen at that time? No, it doesn't. Does it mean that the final war that's going to be fought on this earth will happen during that time or start? No, it doesn't. It means that the generation, according to our understanding in the Bible, and going by a 70-year generation, seems to be that most people have gone by that, concludes around these dates. Like May 5, 1948 was the real date of Israel becoming a nation. So May 5, 1948, that'll continue to May 5, 2018, will conclude that generation. But there was other dates involved in that would call it prior to that. Saying no, it was really back here. And I've heard that, but I've not studied it enough like these gentlemen here. Again, there's some very, very good today information from Avi Lipkin, Mark Belts, and Jonathan Kahn. And then you have J.D. Farg. He's a prophecy update guy that I talk about often. Scott Clark and Trey Smith. Trey Smith, this guy's a new breed of teaching the Bible, and it's really good. And I'd look him up if you've not seen him, and just prepare to be wild, because that's what he does. He's very good. But you got to go back to Jack Van Impe, and you got to go to all these people, John Hagee, and before that, and today to Jonathan Kahn, but Tom Horn and Gary Stearman and this group of people. I mean, they're the ones that made the Bible very interesting by having huge studies on it. When I say studies, they have summits on them, and people come and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. The speakers are more and more and more, and they talk about things that we never dreamed of the beings, the things that's going to be here in those days. And the outbreak of the things that are being seen here that are scaring a lot of people, they're calling flying saucers. A lot of people are seeing strange beings. Well, go back, all the way back to Noah. He said, there's nothing new under the sun. And That simply stated, nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new today that there wasn't back then in his day. And there aren't aliens. There are strange beings, and they're all watcher angels, but there aren't aliens from distant galaxies that just happen to find us, and here they come. No, they're all entities, aliens, and they're all the dead offspring of these, not aliens, dead offspring of these giants had mated with the daughters of men. They're the demons. So you have the giant, the watcher angels, and you had their dead offspring. They're the demons. And the rest of it is what man has created in labs, mainly underground. That's the network of what we're going to see. And when God releases these angels out of the river Euphrates, there will be many of them. The stars will fall from heavens. These are angels that are falling to the earth. And they're all going to start killing people. Will all this happen in the next 2 weeks? I don't know. I would say if they popped out of the ground, River Euphrates, the church won't be here. Or either they'll pop out of the ground just as the church leaves. I don't believe that they're going to be able to inhabit the same ground as the Holy Spirit. He's here as our protector. To protect us, he'll carry us with him. And remember when prayer request went out and it took an angel 21 days to answer that prayer. Well, that's true, but there was a story there to be told, talking about the powers in the air and the wars going on just out of our eyesight that we don't see. Maybe beyond Moon, maybe beyond Mars, maybe even beyond Jupiter. I don't know. But there are wars going on, and the angel had to fight his way through, and he had to come back and get help and go back to get to God to answer that prayer and return back to earth. God could have simply said, you know what, for right now, I'm going to make you 1 billion times more powerful than you are. Well, then that angel would have been to God and been back in about a half of a second. God can do anything, but there's a reason for it all. But when he gives us the timing of events, the things that's going to take place on this planet that we live on, and the people that are living here in that day to witness those things, and then he gives to the Jews this Hanukkah. This is a date that they go back to the original 5 books of the Bible. These are the dates out of that Bible, and they're correct, very accurate. Unlike our dates, theirs are very accurate. Jesus was born between March and April, not in December. But that's okay. We celebrate his birth in December. But their dates are accurate. Generations concludes. It's clear to us all this month, in the next 2 weeks. So all these things that's come upon the earth that are still in the foreground and in the background will be upon us for the next 7 years when it starts. That is when the church is removed. Then it's 7 years of hell on earth. Jody Wolf Expoz.